Hi everyone, this is Veronica and today we are going to discuss why parental consent for vaccination is important, and we are discussing this topic because it is relevant according to your current affairs. We'll discuss the whole issue in detail. For my video updates, you can follow me on Instagram, and the PDF of this lecture will be uploaded on my Facebook profile and Telegram channel. So this is our channel StudyIQ. If you're preparing for any government exam or UPSC exam, a lot of pen drive and tablet courses are also available. For additional information, you can call on these numbers or you can visit our website. Now, what is the relevance of this topic in your exam? From objective point of view, MR and its vaccines are important, and at subjective level, what are the hurdles in immunization program, which is always initiated by the government? There are many hurdles they have to face. What are those hurdles? You should know about them, or you should have an opinion regarding them, that and what is the way forward. Now see here why we are discussing this. What is the issue? Because of lately, Delhi High Court recently put on hold the Delhi government's plan for a measles rubella, that is MR vaccination campaigning in school. Now, what the court has said that the decision did not have the consent of parents, introducing the question of consent in vaccination. That is why today we are talking about consent in vaccination. Now, what is MR vaccine? Recently, the measles rubella vaccine was introduced in universal immunization program. Now, let's have a look at the statistics first, because latest global measles and rubella update is there about the cases reported in India in 2018. So in India, there are more than 56,000 cases of confirmed measles cases in our country, and more than 1,000 confirmed rubella cases in our country. Now, talking about MR vaccine, it has to be administered to all children between 9 months and 15 years of age, but those who do not get it earlier are also vaccinated and before they reach the reproductive age group. Now, what is measles? Basically, this is a very highly contagious disease and it can even cause death. And despite of safe, it is very sad because despite of safe and effective vaccine, still we lose a lot of children to measles and rubella. It is also known as German measles. Almost they are same in their symptoms. There is a fever, cough, and runny nose, and then ultimately there are rashes, red rashes on the body. Now see, as I told you, this vaccination is administered to the children between the age group of 9 months to 15 years. But those who did not get it earlier are also vaccinated and before they reach the reproductive age group. Now, the vaccine being given to the MR campaign is produced in India and it is WHO pre-qualified. And MR vaccine is safe and it is effective and in use over 40 years across 150 countries. It is being given in the routine immunization program of India and even in the neighboring countries of India like Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal and Myanmar. And private practitioners in India have been giving measles, rubella or measles. There's another MMR, that is measles, mumps, rubella vaccine, or the MR vaccine, that is measles, rubella vaccine, to children for many years now. Now see why the parents have filed this case against the government in the High Court, because the petitioners who are parents, they set a principle that choice of individual, even in case of life-saving medical treatment. They say it is a matter of dignity, that it depends upon a particular person what kind of medical treatment he or she wants to have. And in case of minors, that are the children below 18 years, it is the duty of the parents. So consent of parents should be sought before such a vaccination is given to the children. But before that, you need to understand why this particular vaccine, MR vaccine, is crucial to India, because as I told you, India had around 56,000 confirmed measles and more than 1,000 confirmed rubella cases in 2018, and measles is seriously and highly contagious disease. But these include encephalitis. These diseases, measles and rubella, if firstly we talk about measles, they cause debilitating or fatal complications to the children like encephalitis. There could be a problem of diarrhea, dehydration, pneumonia, ear infections and permanent vision losses also. And the disease is preventable through 2 doses of vaccines, because it is always sad when we lose people in our country even when the treatment is available, vaccination is available. And if we talk about the congenital rubella, that is the by birth syndrome, it is also important cause of severe birth defects. A woman who is infected with rubella virus early in pregnancy has a 90% chance of passing this virus to her fetus. So this can cause the death of the fetus, right? So that is the problem here. That is why this MR vaccine is so crucial for our country. Now, if we talk about why the court's order is a welcome step or a welcome move, but before that, as I told you, there are always two sides of the coin. So firstly, if we talk about the parents, first reason they gave why they filed this, why the petition was there, because it said it is a matter of dignity, right? We'll discuss both the sides, parents and then the government side also, or as a country what we feel. Okay, parents is here also it is the court sides also, because the High Court has given decision in favor of parents, right? So firstly, the court has given the decision on the basis of matter of dignity, because it depends upon the choice of a person what kind of treatment he or she wants to have, and in case of minors it depends upon the parents. Another why parents complains is because there seem to be a lack of faith in the government practices, government healthcare practices. They cannot rely on the government, because even last year you have seen a lot of polio vaccines which were contaminated. So rather than curing or preventing the children from diseases, it may lead to more infection or the severe disease in the child. So that is why the parents here are petrified. They want to get their children vaccinated in front of their eyes. Another could be because the vaccination campaign which is going on, they're not asking the children if they earlier had the vaccination or not. So what if the child already has been vaccinated for the same vaccine, right? And next concern was of syringe, or you can say the healthy healthy medical practices, because you have seen in a lot of even government supported hospitals where because of a wrong syringe use, HIV was transferred, HIV virus was transferred, infection was transferred to some pregnant women. Such cases keep on coming on our news channel. So that is why parents want to decide like to whom and what quality of vaccination they need to give, they need to decide for their children. So these are the concerns of the parents, right? But why the order is a welcome move? See, obtaining a parental consent prior to vaccination is the standard practice around the world. So even the WHO recognizes oral, written and implied consent of the vaccination. That is the best global practice around. They take a written or informed consent. Now, according to a WHO survey in 2012, 34 countries on consent procedures for vaccination in 6 to 17-year-olds found approximately half the countries using written consent. And WHO insists that countries are encouraged to adopt procedures that ensure that parents have been informed and agreed to the vaccination. Now, vaccination is always a voluntary process. We'll discuss the way forward also. Vaccination adopt procedures that ensure that parents have been informed and agreed to the vaccination in case of children. And vaccination is always a voluntary process, and there is never compulsion involved. So vaccines should be administered after people are sensitized about the disease and vaccine. This could be a way forward. We'll discuss that again. But in this case, the contention here is that schools are consciously, if we talk about the government stand, they choose the schools consciously rather than choosing health centers or hospitals, as nowhere else can such large number of children in the relevant age group be targeted. And in most, if you take the US example of US states, it is compulsory to provide vaccination records before seeking admission into school, so that a child is not in danger, the child is not a danger to others. Also, the consent of parents is not sought during routine immunization programs, as it is implied where the parents or members of the family bring the child. So for such a public good, for a vaccine that is tried and tested, there is ample evidence on safety and efficacy. And also for something which is already a part of universal immunization program, written consent should not be essential. So how will you conclude this topic for the way forward? You should always say that vaccination is always a voluntary process, and it should not involve compulsion. But however, for such diseases where the disease burden on India is so much, and even we have the vaccines, because most of the cases in rural area, there are several myths related to vaccines are there. They take the child not to the doctor, but to some other person whom they believe will cure the disease. So these myths should be busted, and how it can be busted? By sensitizing the people about the disease, by holding some awareness camps, and teaching and giving awareness to the masses about the fatalities of the disease. Right? So this could be a way forward, because such programs need to be taken out, because as in California, once what happened after a disease breakout, they passed a legislation for volunteer vaccination of other people. Right? So India does not have to take such a crude step, but definitely we should take society along with us in such campaigns. Only then our campaigns will be successful. So what are your comments about this controversy? You can tell me in the comment box, and the PDF of the lecture will be uploaded on the Telegram channel. Thank you.